When evaluating the taste of artisan cheese, one must be aware that many factors will affect its flavor, from when and how it was cut to how it was packaged, stored, and transported. And that's just with the finished product. We're not even going to get into the innumerable factors that affect cheese making today. No, today we're going to play connoisseur and taste cheese like a pro. You'll likely buy cheese in one of three ways: pre-packaged, cut to order, or pre-cut, pre-wrapped. Pre-packaged is what you'll come across most often. You'll see it in a variety of different formats and packaging, most commonly vacuum sealed. This is a great way to store and transport cheese. Many cheese producers ship their large format wheels and pre-cut small format blocks vacuum sealed. This type of packaging creates an environment that locks in moisture and locks out adverse mold growth, leading to lasting flavor and long shelf life. However, cheese is a living product. It requires air and humidity regulation, which plastic does not facilitate. This produces off flavors on the surface of the cheese. Thus, hand-cut, pre-wrapped cheese is a slightly better option. This is what you'll find at a grocery store cheese counter. These cheeses are hand-cut from large format wheels, plastic wrapped, and put on display. Once cut, a cheese will begin to dry out and lose flavor. The smaller the piece, the faster this will happen, which is why cheese is best stored in large formats. You can be assured that these pre-wrapped blocks were cut recently from the wheel. They will be fresher and wrapped in plastic for less time than their pre-packaged counterparts, and you can really taste the difference. Though, the best way to buy cheese is to have it cut to order at your local cheese shop. Your blocks will be cut fresh, straight from the wheel for you, and will be wrapped in cheese paper, which is specially formulated to store cheese. It allows for some airflow and humidity control, and won't create off flavors like plastic will. Support your local cheese shop if you want the best flavor experience possible. And with all of that in mind, let's get rid of these two and see what we have hiding under here. It's an 18-month aged Dutch Gouda. Specifically, Beemster Classic. Let's take a closer look. I want you to look at the color here. It's this lovely pale orange cream color. Notice how the shade darkens towards the rind, and this white part of the rind is dry and inedible. As we move towards the interior, the moisture and flavor increase, with the best being right in the center. It is from this area here that we want to cut our piece for our flavor analysis. This holds true for most hard, aged, wheeled cheeses, but not for all types of cheese. Regardless of the cheese though, you will want it to be close to room temperature. Coldness numbs the palate. Letting it warm up will allow you to fully experience all of its flavor. Do leave it wrapped though as it comes up to temperature, as it will begin to dry out otherwise and its flavor will degrade. We'll cut ourselves a full cross section of this Beemster Classic and test it out. From here, we'll cut it on either side so we are left with the very best part of the wheel, so we can experience the very best of what the cheese can offer. It is from this segment here that I would offer a sample to a cheese shop client, so that they may have the very best first impression possible. Remember, when sampling in a shop, the cheese will be pulled directly from refrigeration, still cold, so the flavors will be dulled. We can circumvent this slightly by warming the cheese between our fingertips. Even just a little warmth can really open up the flavors and aromas of the cheese. When evaluating flavor profiles, I like to play with it a bit. Taking in the aromas allows me to understand the flavor before I even taste it. Breaking it apart in my hands gleans some insight into how the cheese was made. We'll discuss that in another video. And now that we've had our fun, we will finally taste it. And what does Beemster Classic taste like? It tastes like warm, salty butterscotch. It has a sort of savory sweetness to it, like burnt brown sugar. It reminds me of making caramel in my 8th grade home ec class, or of somebody's aunt's house as they bake candied walnuts whilst burning autumn-scented candles. It's rich and robust, and the flavor lingers long after it's swallowed, like the fall leaves linger on your lawn. Towards the rind, it loses some of its warmth while picking up more of the nutty character. I know I said the center was the best part, but you should try all parts of the cheese to get the full impression. Eat it very slowly. Savor it in your mouth. Let the flavors roll over your palate. Let them dance on your tongue. Taste is subjective, and everyone tastes different. What you experience is unique to you. Reflect on the flavor. Think of what it reminds you of. Describe it as you would describe a color to someone who has never seen, or as a sound to someone who has never heard. Try it again and again. Once is not enough. It's like that movie that you watch over and over again, and every time you notice something new, something you didn't see before. And that, my fancy friends, is how you taste cheese like a pro.